Now, I've had many case scenarios where I had to go, I guess, in a way, mentor other people, whether that be my friends or whether that be my friends recommending me to other friends. And I'm not the greatest person when it comes to giving advice. But here's the thing. It's not a it's not always about giving advice. And sometimes we have this desire for some reason to always give advice to people because personally it makes me feel good. I guess you could say it makes me feel useful in a way where it's like, wow, I just helped another person change because of my advice. And obviously, giving advice isn't a bad thing, but I feel like sometimes people just need people just want to feel listened to, if you know what I mean. People just people just need somebody to be there and to ask them questions. Now, I was watching this Jordan Peterson video. I forgot what it's called. I think it was about different belief systems and like nihilism and stuff. And there is one thing he said about psychologists, and the biggest one of the biggest mistakes that a psychologist can do is solve the problem for the client. Pretty much that means giving them advice, um, giving them little solutions to do. The whole point of, I guess you could say, therapy, or yeah, just psychotherapy, is to teach the client how to solve problems themselves, to make them a problem solver. And how do you do that? You ask them questions to the point where they figure it out, right? You ask them questions to the point where it's like, wow, how did I not even think of that? And how did I not even ask those questions myself? And it brings them to a state where once they are in a similar position, they don't have to go to a therapist anymore. They know how to solve it themselves. And that's by asking themselves these deep questions, these deep introspective questions, to the point where they figure out the problem and they find out the solution. So I feel like the desire to go and always tell people to do things is a selfish has a selfish motive behind it. At least in my case. There's this one time where my friend messaged me. He just said, hey Nick, how's life?" And I answered, it's good, it's good. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. How about yours? And he's like, I just have nothing to do with my life, man. Like it's so bland, I don't have a job. I'm just kind of waiting till university starts. And I don't really know what to do this summer. And I feel like the approach I took there was not the greatest, because I kind of just went and bombarded him with just different things to do. Obviously, I guess that's what he was looking for, finding out different things to do, but those are things that I did. And it doesn't necessarily mean those are things that he would enjoy to do as well. Because everybody's different. Everybody has different passions, different things. Like, for example, I told him I'm doing this YouTube channel, and this is what I'm striving for, blah, 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 blah. And that kind of causes him to think, like, oh, wow, now I should be like him and start doing a YouTube channel and blah, 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 blah. And obviously depends how you give that advice as well, which makes them think that communication is all about the receiver's side, not about your own words. You have to twist your wording, I guess, in a way to make them receive it properly, which is something I'm not really good at yet. But all in all, I feel like the approach I should have taken was just by asking him questions like, okay, so you have nothing to do right now. Well, have you tried to figure out what to do? And then it would get into a different tangent, be like, well, I haven't. And I'm like, okay, maybe that can be the first step. Just sit down and think what to do. And then if he said, yeah, I already thought of this, that, and then I can already tell him, all right, then why aren't you doing it? What's stopping you from doing it? What do you procrastinate about? You know, things like that. And instead of just bombarding them with different things to do already, you ask them, all right, well, I want you to figure out what you should do. And that's a very specific situation, of course, and there's many different scenarios where, I mean, I gave you the psychotherapy situation. There's people with so many different problems, so many different traumas, and you kind of just have to take what you hear from them and then ask questions based on that sentence that you just heard, and eventually it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. You go into their childhood, you go into whatever, and then they figure out a solution based on your questions. Sometimes people just need to get asked questions and feel listened to, rather than getting bombarded with different advice, different philosophies, different psychological strategies for them, different psychological strategies that you give them. There's a beauty in them solving the problem themselves. There's a beauty to that. Of course, it makes you feel good when you do get the credit of kind of helping them change or actually changing them. But sometimes you have to throw that away, humble yourself and be like, you know what? I want them to get all the credit because I want them to solve it themselves. So I guess that's the whole point of this video as well. Thank you. See ya.